G'day, my name's Ewan.
I'm Kate.
And here at ROI, we're all about growing the sales for our clients. So not surprisingly, one of the services that we offer is email marketing, but more in the context of trying to help our clients get more revenue from their existing customers. So today, Kate is our expert on email and social marketing. I've got a question for you, Kate. You've been with us for almost a year now.
Yep.
You've gone through an evolution. I'd say when you started, you're probably doing what most businesses are doing. Got a MailChimp account, just sending out EDMs once a month.
Yep.
Do you think email's dead, or do you think there's potential for most businesses watching that they can do it better?
Yeah, I definitely don't think email marketing is dead. I think it definitely creates a lot of value for businesses to create more sales and more revenue if they're using it in the right way. So in particular, I think the way that you segment your audiences rather than just sending out a group email to your list every time, the way that you split that up and target your key segments is really important.
So do you think a lot of businesses have just got a one list? And when they get around to it once a month, they're just sending it, one email with one message to the same list all the time. Do you think that's a good idea, or do you think every business could benefit from at least breaking that up into a few different audiences?
Yeah, I think definitely. I think a lot of companies will just use their one list, and they work a lot on building up that list and making it bigger to target more people. But I think it's definitely valuable to really see what segments of your audience are engaging with what aspects of your email and what kind of offers you're sending out and what sort of content you're working with. So there's definitely a better way to target certain people. And it also helps a lot with unsubscribe, so that you're not sending out too many emails to all the same people. You're able to really send them stuff that they're going to find valuable and they're going to respond to the best.
Good one. So do you think most businesses should be just sending sales emails out, or what's the right, you think, balance between a promotional email versus sending out email or a video that's content that's trying to educate your audience? What do you think is the right balance?
I think balance is probably definitely the key. Again, it depends on the business itself and what they want to get out of their email marketing, but I think definitely content that we've definitely found is very important, and being able to engage in the right way with the right messaging and sort of targeting those key segments with what they want to hear. So looking at like their pain points and offering them a solution in sort of a conversational way, like a blog or like a video or something like that, can be a lot more engaging than just heavy, say 50% type of emails. So yeah, a balance.
And what about consistency? How important do you think it is to have a routine so people subscribe to your newsletter, expect to see your email a certain time of the month or a certain day of the week?
I think it, again, would depend on the business itself, but I think depending on obviously how big your audience is, so if it's a very niche audience, like maybe it's a VIP audience, they might be expecting a particular sales email once a week with like the latest products, latest offers, that type of thing. If it's more content based, I think it's sort of important to stay relevant. Like for example, we have a catering company that we send out email marketing for, and they do a lot more sort of creative content. So it might be about Christmas, it might be about Mother's Day, that type of thing. So that sort of content, not so much a timing thing, but keeping it sort of relevant and
to trends, so seasonality and things like that.
Yeah.
So one of the things I've heard, Kate, from people is, my open rate's been going down for years. The amount of time I have to spend with the emails takes ages. I'm getting lots of unsubscribes. This email thing, it just seems to be more, hassle than it's worth. What would you say to those people? What are they doing wrong, and should they persist?
Well, I think the most important thing is to, again, just look at where they are getting value from their email marketing and how they can really focus on that and build that side of it up. So if you find that you're getting a lot of unsubscribes and because people just aren't interested in the content, maybe it's a good way to sort of shift the way you're looking at things and the way you're targeting, and also to send, again, the segmentation of the list is honestly the most important thing.
So you've mentioned that 3 times,
Yeah.
right? So can you give a couple of ironclad examples of where a business had a big main list, and then what we've done to change that up, and the sort of results we've got as a reflection of that effort?
Yeah. So the way we would split it up is there's obviously a number of different segments you can choose. So it might be location based or like a VIP list or that type of thing. But there's also ways that you can segment based on the way that they engage with your email. So you can segment out a group of people that have engaged with your last 5 emails, have opened the last 5 emails, have clicked through on the last 5 emails, and you can segment them as a group that is regularly interested in your content.
Cool. So you're saying location.
Yep.
You mentioned the word VIP. That's really interesting in that there's most businesses have got certain customers that are really big ambassadors, but putting them into their own list. Maybe splitting up purchasing customers and non-purchasing customers. But then you raise a really interesting one where you might have an email about a certain subject or a topic, and you're saying that you can actually analyse that behaviour and perhaps break that up into its own list, depending on what someone's responded to.
Yeah, so for example, if you're having a big sale or a new product promotion and you've sent out a couple of emails that week talking about that promotion, you can send out a third one as like a reminder, don't miss out kind of thing, to everybody who has opened or clicked the last 2. So they're already interested in the offer, but just that final reminder so that you're not targeting people who haven't shown the interest, but really hitting the audience that's going to be the most valuable.
Cool. And so what you're saying is you might be getting diminishing returns, but you've still got 10% or 15% opening it. They're engaged. Well, my suggestion to re-engage the email list is to be comfortable with the fact that everyone's going to have an unengaged list. And don't take the easy option. And the easy option, which I see a lot of businesses do, is to come up with a really creative subject line that gets me to click on your ad. But I don't think you've addressed the problem. The problem is somewhere along the line that the audience became disengaged with what you were doing. So my suggestion would be that if you're serious about trying to reconnect with those audiences, you treat them differently. And then you ask the question, you ask a survey, you ask the question to give some feedback on, hey, we were doing X, can you give us some feedback on why our content was no longer relevant or you were not finding that helpful?
Yeah.
And I think by just adding that listening component to what you're doing, that will give you the ability to reset, and you might be able to take someone who became disengaged to become quite a very loyal advocate if you're willing to listen and to make a change based on the feedback that they've provided.
Yeah.